Okay, so apparently they have revealed the details of the Dust of Enlightenment. Genshin Impact, more info, Dust. Reliable. So, consume Dust of... I mean, okay. To redistribute stats, okay. You can only target 5-star artifacts. Rip Bozo Instructor rerollers. Every 2 advanced reconfigurations will upgrade to the next one to Decree. What? This is an awful trend. Ah! They cost 2. They cost 2. Man. Okay, at 6 points, consume 6 to trigger advance. When you trigger advance, at least 3 upgrades will go to selected stats. Every 2 advanced will upgrade the next one to Decree. Wait, oh, no. That means that it doesn't make it so that they're always 3. It's, you get guaranteed 2 for the first 5, but then the 6th one is guaranteed 3. And then guaranteed 2 again for 5, and then the 12th one, guaranteed 3, and then guaranteed 2 again for the next 5, and then the 18th one is guaranteed 4. I think that's what this means, right? Because at 6 progress points, consume 6 to trigger advance. But it's only when you trigger advance that at least 3 upgrades go. And then your points are consumed. But you can trigger advanced again, right? The second time you trigger advanced, it does the exact same effect. It's only the 3rd time that it becomes Decree instead. But they wouldn't have the second one having an effect unless it was only on the one that activates it that you get the bonus effect. Oh, that's bad. I'm pretty confident that's how it works. You explain using an artifact? Sure. I mean, we don't need an artifact example. It just, right? You get 2 guaranteed rolls, always, but every 6th attempt, you get more than 2, right? So by default, it's always guaranteed 2, but on the 6th, and the 12th is guaranteed 3, and on the 18th, it's guaranteed 4. But then on the 19th, you're back to 1. Like, you're back to guaranteed 2. You're back to as if you were at the start. Oh, wait. Or oh, wait, that's good. Wait, this is important. Each dust consume grants a grant progress, not each reroll grants progress. That's a big deal. That means that it's the same amount of dust to get an attempt at 3 guaranteed roll or 4 guaranteed roll on a Sans Gauntlet and Circlet as it is on a Flower and Feather. It's gonna be 18 dust no matter what. Not that 18 is a small number. That's 6 fucking patches of free-to-play, by the way. That's like almost a whole ass region of free-to-play. But yeah, so the guarantee is pretty bad. So it's a scam. No, it's just that it doesn't really have a real guarantee. I was kind of baited by the guarantee. It sounded too good to be true, and it was. Oh yeah, by the way, chat, the changes to the attack speed stuff has brought DPC back. Damage percent on galleries and on DPC. You're gonna have Farina, you're gonna have Cryo Goblet, you're gonna have galleries. The rest depends on the team, right? But let's say 40% either from 2/3 uptime Omen or Cinder City. If you have Yulon, it'll be a little bit less. If you have Shanghai, it'll be a little bit less, but whatever. Same chat, who cares? On DPC, instead of 75, you get 40. And then motion value and then adjusted motion value is just gonna be this times 1 plus this. Motion value equal 1.7 times 5 times 262.6 plus 236.8 plus Y5, I'm an idiot, 149.7, 4 times 2 plus 4 times, this is for C1, sure? No, this is C0 for now. I'll look at C1 as well though. Plus 4 times 59.2 times 2, and then 388.7, and then you got the charge attack, 88.1 times 3, and then on DPC, you get an additional N3. So, about that. To be fair, you need to charge attack before you E on DPC, which extends your rotation by like a little bit less than a second. So it probably isn't actually better than galleries, but it's definitely competitive. And this is C0, this is C1. At C1, we need to have damage percent normal attack and damage percent charge attack. The damage percent on charge attacks is not gonna have this. Motion value on charge attack here is just going to be 0, and here. Oh yeah, you still get 15% from galleries. That is true. You're right. This is, let's say 5 rift for now. So at C1, DPC is now 2% better instead of less than 1. It's not that big of a difference, I guess. It's kind of sad though. What's going on? We were reevaluating DPC with the Skirk attack speed changes. It's like, I still wouldn't recommend farming for DPC because there's going to be a decent amount of situations where you want to use the burst on Skirk. Like you're going to end up doing adjusted rotations so that you can juice up. And when you include the burst stuff, right, we add damage percent Q and then motion value Q. Damage percent Q for galleries is going to be this, but this also means that we lose some uptime on this, and this is now 45. Motion value Q here. Although you would get more on the roid of that rotation. So once you include the burst, DPC is worse, even at C1. Although at C1 you might end up, if you do a rotation with burst, you might end up consuming more Void Rifts. Instead of 5, we can probably assume 7. But yeah, it's still about as good. Oh well. The whole point of this thing, though, is just that if you have a good DPC, you don't need to farm for galleries. It's not really, like, this isn't me saying that you should farm for DPC. It's just, if you have a good DPC, it's not much worse than galleries, and sometimes it's even better. So you don't have to go out of your way to farm a new set for Skirk. Oh well. Oh well.
Deuce on the loose!
Yeah.
Deuce on the loose!
Deuce on the loose!